Chased it.
Got it.
Nice.
Right off those rock point there.
That was cool. Saw him kind of move out to it like a big shark starting to chase. And gobbled it.
Now what leader have you got on here?
We're just 4 feet of 2X off the end of that.
So we got some backbone.
Got some backbone just straight to your sink tip there.
This may be a brown, man. It's down and dirty.
Fish. Yep.
Oh, what do we got here, Blake?
I don't know, but I'm gonna pull a little trick here and get my boat to the downstream.
Yeah.
So that we can make him fight you and the current at the same time. Hopefully fatigue him a little quicker. Yeah, perfect.
Right in front of your lodge. Took the trombone.
Awesome.
It's a rainbow.
Yeah, it is.
Fighting like a big brown trout.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Good strong fish.
Got him on the outside.
Bump?
Oh, it was fish. Yeah, it was fish. I missed him. I rolled him. He ate. Did you see it?
I saw it go tight. I didn't know if it was fish or moss. Nice.
I knew there was going to be something in there. Just way too fishy, hey?
Yeah. Perfect little spot. Sitting up against those rocks.
It goes to show when you pull those flies off the structure, like that fish ate probably 4 or 5 feet off that rock.
Yep. He must have been sitting right up against it. Thanks, buddy.
We pull over for a minute and Blake discusses how he likes to set up his tandem streamer rigs and the kind of streamer water he's looking for.
So when streamer fishing, I'm a big fan of a loop knot, allowing for more movement on the terminal end of the streamers or on the terminal streamer. So if we were throwing just one streamer, I'd tie it on with a loop knot. In this situation, we've got a tandem rig, but I like to have the back streamer on a loop. And I see a lot of common mistakes anglers making where they make that loop too big. So it really doesn't matter what loop knot you prefer. I kind of tie a Rapala knot. So I just make a granny knot, run it through the eyelet of the hook, and then take it back up above the granny knot, twist 6 times, and then back through that granny knot. But ideally, when I'm tying this loop, I want it to be in front of the eyelet with the diameter of about like a pin. If the loop knot is too big, you're going to get, especially in an articulated streamer situation, you're going to get your fly fouling within that loop. So as you can see here, I'll trim this tag. You'll see that this loop knot is relatively small, but that allows for freedom of that bug to really swing back and forth and not be hinged in one location. So this is to me, like, this is quintessential streamer water here on the North Platte. It's got all of it. We've got current seams, you'll see right behind me. We've got this big scum line, obviously a feeding line going on right on the edge of the scum. There's a very good chance there's, you know, some big river monster sort of fish in this kind of back eddy recirc that we're sitting in. We also got a bunch of great holding water with these big rocks kind of breaking up a heavier pinch point and current. So spots like this, I really spend a lot of time in, try to pick apart and hit, you know, every little pocket, the soft corners, the seams, the scum lines, overhanging branches off a lot of these trees. This is the reason that big fish live here, is it's got everything. Great places to hunt, great places to ambush prey where they can kind of hide out and sneak in and eat. It's got it all.